Have you ever watched an American or British movie or sat in a meeting with native English speakers and felt completely lost? You know the vocabulary, you have studied the grammar, you can read a textbook without any problems, but when a native speaker opens their mouth, it sounds like one giant, incredibly fast word. You find yourself constantly asking people to repeat themselves, or worse, you just nod and smile, pretending you understood when you really didn't. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know that it is not your fault and your English is not broken. The truth is, the English you learned in the classroom is not the English we speak on the street, in the office, or at the dinner table. Today, we are going to fix your listening skills. I am going to teach you the secret of connected speech so you never have to ask someone to repeat themselves again. Let us start by understanding the core problem. Languages are generally divided into two categories, syllable-timed and stress-timed. Languages like Spanish or Japanese are syllable-timed, meaning each syllable gets roughly the same amount of time and emphasis. English, however, is a stress-timed language. This means we only emphasize the important words, the nouns, the main verbs, the adjectives. The other words, the grammar words like prepositions, articles, and auxiliary verbs, get squished together. We reduce them, we link them, and sometimes we completely drop them so we can get to the next important stressed word faster. We're not being lazy, we're just following the natural rhythm and music of the English language. When you know these hidden rules, fast English stops sounding like a chaotic mystery and starts sounding like a predictable musical pattern. For the rest of this audio, we are going to actively train your ears and your mouth to recognize and produce these patterns. This is an active shadowing exercise. I will explain a rule, give you the textbook pronunciation, and then give you the native pronunciation. I will leave a moment of silence for you to repeat the native pronunciation out loud. You must speak out loud. That is how you build the physical muscle memory required to understand and speak fluent English. Let us begin with the most common pattern, reductions. This is when common words shrink. Let's look at the phrase going to. In a textbook, you read, I am going to the store. But a native speaker reduces going to into gonna. Listen closely. I'm gonna go to the store. Now, let's practice. I will say the textbook version, then the native version. You repeat the native version. Textbook. What are you going to do? Native. What you gonna do? Now you repeat. What you gonna do? Let's try another one. Textbook. I am not going to lie to you. Native. I'm not gonna lie to ya. Your turn. Repeat. I'm not gonna lie to ya. Notice how you reduced to ya. Let's do it one more time. I'm not gonna lie to ya. Excellent! Now let's look at want to. This reduces to wanna. Textbook. Do you want to get a cup of coffee? Native. Do you want to get a cup of coffee? Listen to the rhythm of that. Do you want to get a cup of coffee? The words getta become getta, and cup of becomes cuppa. Now you try. Repeat after me. Do you want to get a cup of coffee? Let's try another wanna sentence. Textbook. I do not want to go to the meeting. Native. I don't want to go to the meeting. Your turn. I don't want to go to the meeting. Great job! Another incredibly common reduction happens with the words have to and has to. They become hafta and hasta. Textbook. I have to finish this report by tomorrow. Native. I have to finish this report by tomorrow. Repeat that. I have to finish this report by tomorrow. Textbook. He has to call the client right now. Native. He has to call the client right now. Your turn. He has to call the client right now. Now, let us move on to the second secret of fast English, linking. This is when the end of one word grabs onto the beginning of the next word. The most common type of linking is when a word ends in a consonant sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound. Instead of stopping between the words, the consonant jumps over to the vowel. Think of the phrase, an apple. A native speaker does not say an, pause, apple. We say an apple. The N attaches to the A, an apple. Let's practice this with some common phrases. Textbook. Can I have a bit of it? Native. Can I have a bit of it? Listen to how that flows. The T in bit jumps to the O in of. The F in of, which sounds like a V, jumps to the I in it. Bit of it. Now you repeat. Can I have a bit of it? Let's try another one. Textbook. Stop it and look at it. Native. Stop it and look at it. This sounds almost like a different language when you break it down, but it is exactly what natives say. The P jumps to the I, the T jumps to the A, the K jumps to the A, the T jumps to the I. Stop it and look at it. Take a breath and repeat that. Stop it and look at it. Once more, a little faster. Stop it and look at it. You are doing wonderfully. This is an intense workout for your brain and your mouth. Let's look at one more crucial rule for understanding fast speakers, elision, or dropped sounds. Often, when words end in T or D and the next word starts with a consonant, we just completely drop the T or D. It disappears. For example, next door. We don't say the T, we say next door. Diamond ring. We drop the D, we say diamond ring. Let's practice this in some full sentences. Textbook. It is a cold day, so wear your best coat. Native. It's a cold day, so wear your best coat. Notice how cold becomes coal and best becomes bess. Repeat after me. It's a cold day, so wear your best coat. Let's try another dropped T. Textbook. I don't know what to do next time. Native. I don't know what to do next time. Your turn. Repeat. I don't know what to do next time. Now we are going to level up. We are going to put all of these rules together, reductions, linking, and dropped sounds, into a few longer connected sentences. I'm going to say a paragraph at a natural, fast, native speed. I want you to just listen the first time. Don't speak. Just let the rhythm wash over you and see how much you can catch. Here we go. I'm gonna have to leave early today 'cause I've got to pick up my kids from school. If the boss asks where I went, just tell him I had an emergency. I should have told him earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. Did you catch all of that? Let's break it down into chunks and shadow it. Chunk 1. Textbook. I am going to have to leave early today. Native. I'm gonna have to leave early today. Your turn. Repeat. I'm gonna have to leave early today. Chunk 2. Textbook. Because I have got to pick up my kids from school. Native. 'Cause I've gotta pick up my kids from school. Notice because becomes 'cause, got to becomes gotta, and pick up links to pick up. Repeat after me. 'Cause I've gotta pick up my kids from school. Chunk 3. If the boss asks where I went. Native. If the boss asks where I went. This one's mostly the same but very smooth. Repeat. If the boss asks where I went. Chunk 4. Textbook, just tell him I had an emergency. Native, just tell him I had an emergency. We drop the T in just, we drop the H in him, we linked had to a, making hadda, and we linked an to emergency, making nemergency. Repeat, just tell him I had an emergency. Final chunk, textbook, I should have told him earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. Native, I should have told him earlier, but it completely slipped mind. Should have becomes shoulda, but it becomes but it. Slipped drops the T sound at the end and becomes slip. Repeat after me. I shoulda told him earlier, but it completely slipped mind. Now, take a deep breath. We are going to say that entire paragraph together. I want you to speak at the exact same time as me. Try to match my speed, my rhythm, and my linked sounds. Ready? Let's go. I'm gonna have to leave early today 'cause I've gotta pick up my kids from school. If the boss asks where I went, just tell him I had an emergency. I should have told him earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. Let's do that one more time to really lock in the muscle memory. Speak with me. I'm gonna have to leave early today 'cause I've gotta pick up my kids from school. If the boss asks where I went, just tell him I had an emergency. I should have told him earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. Fantastic work today! Your mouth and jaw might feel a little tired right now, and that is exactly what we want. That means you are breaking old habits and forming new ones. Understanding fast English isn't about memorizing thousands of new vocabulary words. It is simply about learning how the words you already know melt together in the real world. I highly recommend that you come back and listen to this specific audio track every day for the next week. The more you repeat these exercises, the faster your brain will decode native speech automatically without you having to translate or think about it.